In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, all praise belongs to Allah, the one who raises his servants through hardship, who teaches through delay, who gives by first taking away, and who knows the perfect timing of every event. Peace and blessings be upon Prophet Muhammad, whose life was filled with trials, yet whose heart never turned away from Allah, and upon his family, his companions, and all who follow his path with sincerity. The story of Prophet Yusuf is not merely the story of a prophet from the past. It is the story of patience that leads to victory, of purity that brings honor, and of trust in Allah that never ends in loss. It is the story of a child thrown into a well, a young man sold as a slave, a believer imprisoned without guilt, and a servant of Allah raised to honor through unwavering faith. Yusuf was introduced to hardship at an early age. He was a beloved son, raised with care and affection. But love, when mixed with jealousy, can turn into cruelty. His brothers allowed jealousy to grow in their hearts until it blinded them. They planned his removal, convinced themselves it was justified, and finally threw him into a dark well. This was not only betrayal, it was the destruction of trust at its most basic level. The well was dark, silent, and cold. For Yusuf, it was the place where childhood ended. It was where safety disappeared and uncertainty began. Yet even in that darkness, Allah was watching. Yusuf did not scream in rebellion. He did not curse his fate. His heart remained connected to Allah, even when every human connection had been severed. His brothers returned home with lies. His father, Prophet Yaqub, sensed the truth but chose patience. He said that beautiful patience was his response. This moment teaches that patience does not mean ignorance of injustice. It means choosing Allah over despair when no solution is visible. Yusuf was rescued from the well, but rescue did not mean comfort. He was sold as a slave. One hardship ended, another began. This is the pattern of life. Trials rarely come alone. They come in sequences, shaping the heart gradually. Yet Allah never abandons his servant. Yusuf was placed in a home in Egypt, where he grew under new circumstances, unaware of the tests yet to come. As Yusuf matured, he was tested with temptation. Beauty had been granted to him, but beauty itself is a trial. The wife of his master invited him to sin. The doors were closed. No one was watching. Youth, desire, and opportunity were all present. Yet Yusuf chose Allah. He said that he sought refuge in Allah. This single choice altered his destiny. Yusuf ran from sin. He preferred prison over disobedience. This is a crucial lesson. Sometimes the path Allah loves is painful. Sometimes choosing purity costs freedom. But Allah never allows such sacrifices to go unrewarded. Yusuf was falsely accused and imprisoned, despite his innocence being known. Few tests are heavier than being punished for something one did not do. Many hearts break at this stage. Many people turn away from faith. But Yusuf turned toward Allah even more. The prison became a place of remembrance and guidance. Yusuf continued to speak about Allah even while suffering injustice. Inside the prison, Yusuf met others and interpreted their dreams. He helped them sincerely, without seeking anything in return. Yet when one of them was freed, Yusuf was forgotten. This forgetting was perhaps one of the heaviest tests. Waiting while unseen, being right yet ignored, hoping yet remaining confined. This is patience at its deepest level. But Allah had not forgotten. When the time was right, Allah caused the king to see a dream that no one could interpret. Suddenly, Yusuf was remembered. But when the doors opened, Yusuf did not rush out. He demanded justice first. He wanted the truth to be clear. He wanted to leave prison with honor, not suspicion. This integrity elevated him further. Yusuf was raised from imprisonment to authority, from a slave to a leader entrusted with the wealth of a nation. This rise was not sudden success. It was the result of years of patience, purity, and trust. Each trial had prepared him for responsibility. Later, the brothers who betrayed him stood before him in need. Power was now in Yusuf's hands. Revenge was easy. Forgiveness was chosen. He told them there would be no blame that day. This act of mercy revealed the greatness of his character. Forgiveness freed not only his brothers, but his own heart. The story of Yusuf teaches that patience never destroys, purity never humiliates, trust in Allah never fails. The well, the prison, and the accusations were not defeats. They were steps toward elevation. This story is alive today. Wells still exist in the form of betrayal. Prisons still exist in the form of false accusations. Waiting still hurts. But Allah still exists, and Allah is still with those who are patient. The life of Prophet Yusuf teaches something that many people struggle to accept. Allah's delays are not denials. When Yusuf remained in prison longer than expected, it was not because Allah had abandoned him. It was because Allah was preparing a future that required a stronger heart, a deeper patience, and a broader vision. Many people want immediate relief, but immediate relief often comes before readiness. Allah does not place a servant into a position they cannot carry. Every year, Yusuf spent in prison refined his character. He learned restraint, he learned humility, He learned how to serve without recognition. These lessons cannot be learned in comfort. They are learned in waiting. They are learned when one continues to do good without seeing results. They are learned when one remains sincere even when forgotten. One of the most powerful lessons in Yusuf's story is how he maintained his moral compass when no one was watching. Temptation was real. Opportunity was present. Yet he chose Allah over desire. This choice was not rewarded immediately. In fact, it seemed to make his life harder. But this delay itself was a test of sincerity. Would he remain firm even when obedience brought difficulty instead of ease? He did. Many people believe that doing the right thing should lead to immediate success. When it does not, they question the value of righteousness. Yusuf's life corrects this misunderstanding. Doing what is right is not a transaction with instant results. It is a commitment to Allah, whose reward comes at the perfect time. When Yusuf finally emerged from prison, he did not emerge bitter. He did not carry resentment. He did not speak of his suffering with anger. He spoke with wisdom. He demonstrated leadership shaped by hardship. This is why Allah entrusted him with responsibility. Leadership without patience produces oppression. Authority without humility produces arrogance. Yusuf had neither. Forgiveness is one of the hardest acts of faith. Yusuf forgave not because his brothers deserved forgiveness, but because he trusted Allah's justice more than his own anger. Forgiveness did not erase the pain, but it prevented the pain from controlling his future. This is a lesson for anyone carrying wounds inflicted by others. Holding on to anger does not heal injustice. It prolongs it. Yusuf's reunion with his father Yaqub is another lesson in divine timing. Years of separation ended in a moment that restored vision, joy, and family. What seemed lost forever was returned with honor. This teaches that nothing is truly lost when it is entrusted to Allah. Even when years pass, Allah's ability to restore remains unchanged. The Qur'an describes Yusuf's story as the best of stories. This is because it mirrors the emotional journey of the believer. Fear, loss, hope, temptation, waiting, injustice, relief, and gratitude are all present. It speaks to the human condition in every era. The external details may change, but the internal struggles remain the same. Many people today feel trapped in their own versions of the well, betrayed by family, abandoned by friends, misjudged at work, accused unfairly, forgotten despite sincerity. Yusuf's story does not promise that these experiences will disappear quickly. It promises that Allah sees, Allah records, and Allah rewards. Patience in Yusuf's life was not passive, it was active trust. He continued to serve, continued to speak truth, continued to remember Allah. Patience is not waiting while doing nothing, it is waiting while doing what is right. Trust in Allah does not mean the absence of fear. Yusuf felt fear, he felt loneliness, but trust meant that fear did not dictate his actions. Trust anchored his choices to Allah rather than circumstances. Gratitude also plays a subtle role in Yusuf's story. When Yusuf reached power, he acknowledged Allah's role in everything he had endured. He did not credit his intelligence alone. He did not boast about his resilience. He recognized that all knowledge and success come from Allah. Gratitude preserved his humility. The ending of Yusuf's story is not only about victory, it is about understanding. Yusuf himself says that Allah is gentle in what he wills. Gentleness does not always feel gentle in the moment, but it is revealed in hindsight. What once felt cruel is later seen as protection. What once felt like delay is later seen as preparation. This is the essence of faith. To believe that Allah is writing a better ending than the one we can imagine. To remain obedient when clarity is absent. To remain patient when justice seems delayed. To remain pure when temptation surrounds us. To remain forgiving when power is within reach. The story of Yusuf teaches that dignity is preserved through obedience, not circumstances. Honor is granted by Allah, not by people. And elevation comes not from shortcuts, but from steadfastness. If you are waiting today, know that waiting is not wasted time when it is filled with trust. If you are struggling with temptation, know that choosing Allah never results in loss. If you are carrying wounds caused by others, know that forgiveness is strength, not weakness. Allah does not forget the tears that fall in secret. Allah does not overlook the patience practiced in silence. Allah does not abandon the servant who remains sincere. The well is not the end. The prison is not the end. Delay is not the end. With Allah, the story always continues. O Allah, grant us hearts that remain firm in hardship, souls that choose purity over desire, patience that does not collapse under delay, and forgiveness that frees us from resentment. Make us among those who trust your wisdom even when we do not understand your plan. Ameen.